Hey there, Richard here. Welcome to today's video, which is all about preparation. Preparation as a network marketer is key, especially if you're working a job around businesses working around your full-time job or even a part-time job. I'll be back in a second to give you some great advice on preparation and getting results from this tip. See you in a second. Okay, welcome back. So I remember, I've got a daughter, Ava, and I remember every school holiday that would come around, I would be playing catch up for my business for like 2 months afterwards. Why? Because I never prepared. I never prepared for that. You know, I'd be going about my routine, and then I'd be like, oh yeah, breaking up from school this weekend. And it would come to Monday, and I'd be like, well, I'm not going to work all the time in my business because I got my daughter on school. I want to spend some time with her, but oh man, I had this to do, that to do. I said I'd follow up with this person. No more invitations, no more presentations. All this stuff had gone. So I'd have like 2 solid weeks. No one would hear from me. I wouldn't be doing business at all. Squeezing a couple of bits in, but not really to the same standard. And then after that, I would try and get back on the horse. And of course, the horse is like in the middle of the field. And I'd have to catch the horse first, then get on it, wrestle with it, then get the saddle on. I was like, man, why didn't I just, find a way to have someone else sit in the horse for me for a couple of weeks and then meet them at a point and jump back on nice and smooth, saddle still warm, right? So the way in which I did that was preparing in 2 ways. Number 1, preparing full stop. No matter how you want to build your network marketing business, make sure that you are looking at your diary. If there are going to be periods coming up in your life where you're not going to be able to do what you're doing right now, well, prepare for that. And then preparing as well in terms of the actual way in which you build your business. If you're just prospecting one-on-one and phone call after phone call after phone call, that is a tough game, my friend, to be consistent with. Number 1, because it makes you miserable, but number 2, there are going to be days and times where things don't go to plan. Like if you've got to do 20 cold calls a day to have any progress in your business, you suddenly start to run out of people to find. It gets harder to make the calls. If there is time where you want to go vacation, holiday, everything has to stop. So you need to find a way to be leveraged in what you do. I'm not saying you can't use calls if you want to. I'm not saying you can't prospect people on social media if you want to. You can do that stuff. But alongside of that, the smart move, the preparation, is to be building something that's leveraged and passive alongside that. Not just the income stream. I'm not saying like passive income. I'm saying a passive marketing method. Like this, for example. I have the option to pre-record the majority of what my business users ahead of time. My main 2 sources, 3 sources I have of income and leads and interest and people who buy my product and reach out to me. It's through YouTube, it's through my podcast, and it's through my website. People typically look at my content on here, they'll subscribe, they'll go and take a look at my website, they'll see what else on my website, they'll click something, they'll buy it, or they'll register for something. That's the way my business goes. They see this content, this guy talks the talk, walks the walk. I like his style. Let me see what else he's got. I'll go to his website. Oh, I'll take a click at that. That looks like it could help me. And then business is done. So my podcast and YouTube pointing towards my website. I can pre-schedule all of that. Videos can be done ahead of time. Podcasts can be done ahead of my time. My website is there. It doesn't require me to wind it up in the morning and put a penny in the meter for the old website, right? So what are you doing like that alongside of the active prospecting methods that you're perhaps doing? If you are making calls, if you are going to networking events, if you are building an audience one-on-one, you won't want to do that forever. And you won't want to be tied to that. So prepare for that by looking at your schedule and saying, okay, number 1, is there any breaks in time coming up? Let me prepare for that. And number 2, what ways can I prepare for that now and long term so that I can do what the heck I like by having things on your terms? And that would be this passive type marketing method. So I hope you gained something from that. Was that useful? Was it helpful? Did it remind you of something that you haven't given enough to and now you are? I hope that it has. If you want my best resource, obviously over my website, you'll find richardmatharoo.com/YouTube. That is for you on YouTube if you are a network marketer. There's 3 or 4 pieces of advice on there that I really think are important to you. And looking back over my success, going from 328 no's in a row to now over a 6-figure business, generating over 7 figures now for other network marketers. All of that is in that web class, which will be happening this week, I believe. So go create a day in a life that counts. Always have more desires and excuses. I hope you enjoyed this advice, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye for now.